One seed is all it takes to grow a forest. One candle can fill a dark room. One voice is enough, speaking words of love. Each moment becomes what we choose. So do you want a new world? A world that works for everyone? Just open your mind, maybe you'll see. We can become a new world with Mother Earth circling the sun. She's waiting for you and for me to be the new Our dreams light a path for us to walk on. Our songs keep our spirits alive. And each little child helps remind us why we not only might, we must thrive. So do you want a new world? A world that works for everyone? Then open your heart and you will see. We can become a new world with Mother Earth circling the sun. She's waiting for you and for me to be the new world. With just that thought, it has begun. Don't you want to see a new world? A world that works for everyone. Then open your life and you can be the coming of the new world with Mother Earth circling the sun. She's waiting for you and for me to be the new world. Be the new world, the new world, the new world, the new world.
Happy New Year, everyone. Are we ready to build the new world?
Yes.
That beautiful song was written by artist Leah Morris specifically for this launch rally, and we are very grateful. My name is Laura George, and I'm a member of the Founding Mothers Peace Room. Thank you for being with us today to help launch the weekly worldwide Wake Up, the first direct action campaign of the Founding Mothers movement. The Founding Mothers launched just 6 months ago with two simple yet sacred goals: universal rights for all women and an end to war. Our mission is to shift the paradigm from patriarchy and militarism to planetary partnership and peace. We believe that if these two goals are resolved, women's rights and war, all the other existential threats facing humanity then become remediable, including wealth inequality, protecting our precious planet, addressing the dangers of AI, and leaving a thrivable world to future generations. We have reimagined and reactivated the Global Women's Congress. which has convened 6 times and produced the Founding Mothers Proclamation, Our Solutions to the Polycrisis. The Women's Congress also brainstormed and birthed this first novel nonviolent campaign, the weekly worldwide Wake Up, which we are officially activating now. It is my great pleasure to introduce our Mistress of Ceremonies, Anahita June, who is a modern-day priestess and a fully empowered change agent. Anahita was born in Iran during the Islamic Revolution, and she will share her amazing journey of escaping that repressive, theocratic, and misogynistic regime. Her current work on behalf of women is the culmination of over 30 years of intensive spiritual study and social research, and over 15 years of teaching and facilitating women's groups. She is the founder of the She School, a global transformation and educational institute dedicated to restoring the sacred feminine through the embodying and leadership of women. She also founded the Ecstatic Leadership Institute, which offers professional coaching and training programs for leaders who are ready to move beyond duality into the new era of oneness. Her clients include mothers, CEOs, entrepreneurs, healers, emerging and established coaches, and many luminaries. The She School alumni are currently sitting on the boards of cutting-edge organizations in the fields of education, religion, psychology, and more. As a mentor and guide, Anahita activates our sacred leadership qualities, helping us to awaken and unleash the forces of nature within. Anahita, over to you.
Good morning. Thank you, Laura. Thank you for that warm welcome. I'm so honored to be here. The mission of the Founding Mothers Movement is so dear to me because, as you said, the mission of the universal rights for women and ending of war, as you said, goes directly to the heart of my personal journey in this lifetime. I grew up in Islamic Republic of Iran. I was born at the height of the revolution. And so this meant the first 8 years of my life were filled with war, nonstop war. This meant that bombs were falling from the sky all the time, that we had slang term for when it's raining bombs. We would say bombaran. It meant it is raining bombs. And at a young age, I had the discerning ear for the different levels of sirens, whether it was yellow or orange or red. So how severe is it and how much time do we have to take cover? So this was my early life, while also steeped in the deep oppression of the feminine. You know, I have pictures, my photo for my passport, I was 3 years old, maybe not even 3 years old in a full hijab, you know, being maybe 9 or 10. And I mean, there were military police everywhere with guns around our school, but I remember having my hair covering fall back to here and having a gun pointed at my head. And I was, you know, I was under 10 years old. And of course, to this day, the sound of a woman singing is illegal in Iran. And this is because it is said that the sound of a woman singing is so beautiful that it will seduce men into acts of evil, as if men are just animals with no self-control, no choice, no awareness. So I was fortunate enough, though, to move to America when I was a teenager, and I recognized this is a great privilege, and I stand in solidarity and in awe of my sisters and brothers in Iran who are demonstrating incomprehensible courage as they continue to take to the streets and stand up against the oppressive, brutal current regime. So once I got here, I was so happy. I finally had the life I'd seen in the movies that we got off the black market, and I could wear skirts and I could feel the sunlight on my legs and I could feel the wind in my hair right in the back of, you know, my aunt's convertible. But that was very short-lived because I realized very quickly how deeply I had internalized the oppression and that I didn't actually know how to be free, even though the external oppressors were gone. Here I was, I didn't really know what choice meant. I didn't really know what freedom meant. So I got to start and set on a path of study at a very young age. And by the time that I was 22, I was going through a dark night of the soul, and the goddess came for me. And now I know that I was having a Kundalini awakening, but at the time, it was just a tremendous amount of life force, erotic energy moving through my body anytime I would try to sleep or meditate or be still. And as the erotic energy moved through my body, it was also showing me things. It was clearing and showing me why the patriarchal religious systems had been so invested in oppressing the feminine and women's sexuality. I was being shown, oh, if women are connected to our sexual power, that means we're connected to our womb. If we're connected to our womb, then we're connected to Divine Mother. If we're connected to Divine Mother, we know the feminine face of God. And if we know the feminine face of God, the patriarchal religious system loses all control. And now this would be for me to walk with and grapple with. And ultimately, the Divine Mother invited me to become an exotic dancer, which is not what I wanted to do at the time. I wanted to do what I'm doing now. But there was so much internalized oppression in me that even though I had received the understanding and I had the physical awakening, I couldn't, at the level of my personality, reconcile my own feminine power and own my own womb wisdom and my sexuality. So I had to become an exotic dancer while I was also teaching yoga and coaching and people and continuing my studies. So fast forward, we're 15 years of having worked with women from ages of 25 to 77, those who have come from Mormonism, Judaism, those who still walk the path of Christianity. And I have learned that the oppression of the feminine is not exclusive to the Middle East or the Third World. In fact, the oppression of the feminine and war are 100% connected because they are both representative of a consciousness that is absent of the feminine face of God. You see, the consciousness that continues to oppress the feminine, continues to create war, is dehumanizing not just to women, but to men also, by those who have forgotten we have a mother. And so this is what tells me that it's not about gender, rather about a consciousness and a disconnection from our source and disconnection from love. And this is what we are doing here. This is why I'm so grateful to be here, that we are standing for love and who we are capable of being as those who have found our mother and who know that we do indeed belong to each other. So at today's rally, we have many honored guests who support the work of the Founding Mothers movement and who endorse the weekly worldwide Wake Up. Our first guest is the legendary Riane Eisler, a renowned social systems scientist, cultural historian, author, and attorney whose work has inspired and transformed organizations, policies, and people worldwide. Dr. Eisler's seminal book, The Chalice and the Blade, was one of the first studies on the tragic transition from matriarchal to patriarchal cultures and the resulting introduction of the domination worldview that still plagues us today. In total, her immense body of work provides an accurate perspective on humanity's past, present, and future possibilities. Today, Dr. Eisler believes that a new social and political agenda is emerging, one that offers a more equitable, humane, peaceful, and environmentally sustainable world. Dr. Eisler is president of the Center for Partnership Systems and editor-in-chief of the Interdisciplinary Journal of Partnership Studies, which guides partnership models around the world. She is the only woman among 20 academics listed in the book Macro History and Macro Historians, in recognition of the lasting importance of her work as a cultural historian and evolutionary theorist. Moreover, in the book, Great Peacemakers, she is listed as one of the 20 most prominent leaders for world peace, along with Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Martin Luther King. Due to her monumentous body of work, Dr. Eisler has received many honors, including the Nuclear Age Peace Leadership Award and Feminist Pioneer Award. It is our great honor to now share this video message from Dr. Riane Eisler.
Hello, I'm Riane Eisler, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Founding Mothers Movement. And I'm on the advisory board, and my project, which I'll get to in a minute, is really part of their mission, which is global partnership and peace. And we know from neuroscience that, well, we have to pay attention to family, because that's when we learn violence or not violence. And we have a new campaign, which is Peace Begins at Home. And neuroscience indeed tells us that what we learn in the first years of our lives is fundamental. So I invite you all to be part of that. And this campaign, by the way, even though a lot of the violence is done by men worldwide, it's not biological, it is cultural. It has to do with the domination, socialization of men, of masculinity being equated with domination and violence. So I look forward to seeing you, and I invite you to join us at our weekly worldwide Wake Up campaign.
Thank you, Dr. Eisler. Thank you so much. Our next speaker, we get to welcome our next speaker, Patrick McCollum. Reverend Patrick McCollum is an interfaith chaplain and internationally recognized spiritual leader whose focus on world peace and planetary sustainability spans half a century. He is the founder and president of the McCollum Foundation, which weaves the wisdom and spreads pluralistic teachings of all faith traditions, Indigenous people, and the Great Mother. He is a member of the Advisory Council of Americans United for Separation of Church and State, and he serves as the All-Faith Chaplain Liaison for the American Academy of Religion. He co-founded the G-Card program, which trains the administrators of religious programs in all U.S. state and federal prisons, and he is the Minority Faith Chair for the American Correctional Chaplains Association. He also serves as Vice President of the Children of the Earth Foundation, and he is on the advisory board of the Oracle Institute and the Founding Mothers Movement. Among his many honors, Reverend McCollum is the recipient of the Mahatma Gandhi Award and the Ralph Bunche International Peace Award. He has been knighted in Great Britain, installed as a tribal chief and king in Ghana, and named an elder of numerous native peoples, including the Kogi people of Colombia. He also is the creator of the World Peace Violin, which is played around the world and officially recognized by the United Nations as a symbol of world peace. Recently, Dr. Jane Goodall nominated Reverend McCollum to replace her in her unique role as the UN Messenger of Peace. Today, Patrick is traveling, but has sent us a heartwarming video message.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Patrick McCollum, and I'm here at Hampton Court in England, and I am an international peacemaker and a planetary activist. And I'm here today to talk to you about the Founding Mothers Movement. For about the last 56 years, I've been working on women's issues, all the way from trying to help stop women being captured and utilized in the sex trade, to trying to raise the ability for women's voices to be heard. It's really interesting. Most people don't know, but it's only been about 20 or 25 years that the United Nations has even allowed women to speak about current world problems and world conflicts. The Founding Mothers Movement is designed to create a Congress of women who can come together and start to really get their voices to make a difference in the world. Over half of the population of this planet are women. So there are over 4 billion women on this planet. People often ask me what kind of power women could have, and I found out an interesting scientific fact that I like to share. If all the women on planet Earth came together in one place, it would create so much gravity that it would change the course of the moon. So I'd like to ask you all today to come together as we launch on January 1st, the Founding Mothers Movement, and join us and see if we can't help women's voices have more control and a bigger voice in how our planet and humanity moves forward. Women are paid less, women have less opportunity, and women can't even have control of their own bodies and their own environments. I think it's a really important time to step forward. So come join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend McCollum. That is the perfect lead in to our next speaker. Miata Fanbule is a Liberian singer-songwriter, social activist, and women's advocate. She has been called a musical icon and is known as one of Africa's great voices, both as a performer and as an ambassador for women and children. As a singer, she has toured the world, appearing at the Apollo Theater in Harlem and the World Black Festival of Arts and Culture in Africa. As a humanitarian, Miata was deeply impacted by the Liberian Civil War, which lasted 14 years. The devastation prompted Miata to focus her activism on the plight and poverty of women and children. She served as Liberia's Goodwill Ambassador for Maternal and Child Health, and she founded Oba's Girl Foundation Education Outreach, a school that offers scholarships to the next generation of female Liberian leaders. She also hosts a Saturday radio show for children called Let's Talk About It, where she answers their questions and offers inspiration as Auntie Miata. And here's a fun fact about Miata's name. It means, where are you going? She likes to answer, everywhere. Today, Miata is with us in the Founding Mother studio. We are eager to hear her universal message of truth, love, and light. Welcome. Miata? Oh, are we having technical difficulties? We give her a moment, see if we can get the internet to come back. Yes.
Okay.
Miata?
Is it back?
Yes, you are back.
Yes. Good afternoon, or rather good morning. It's a pleasure noon, as part of the Founding Mothers Movement. My interest always is mothers, women, and children. So I met one of your members in Accra, Ghana, and we were all there for the elections. And she told me about Mother's Movement. And like I said, whenever we're asking women to come together in order to put hands around and come on board. So that is why I'm here. And the question that I was asked, why women hold the key, why women hold the key to the paradigm shift. And the fact that we ask a question, why women hold the key, answers the question. The population of women worldwide is in the majority. Women are the givers of life. Women are the caretakers. And I was thinking last night, to what end should we have this conversation now in terms of women being able to shift the paradigm as it is now? From birth, nature has set women to be able to take care of the world. It's not our own, nature's doing. The child comes through the mother, is taken care of by the grandmothers and the aunties, right up until they are able to go out there on their own. And even then, we know the influence of mothers. We know the influence of aunties. We know the influence of grandmothers. So I keep asking, if we ground of taking a child from birth to adulthood, what changed? What changed with the influence and the power of women? Where did we let it go? Let it go. Because I tell you a very quick story of a human rights activist in Nigeria by the name of Gani Fayemi, very vocal, hit the government very hard. I believe Gani was probably in his late 60s when he was arrested by the government of the day. And they wanted him to make certain concessions. And being a tough guy, he absolutely refused to move. And every day that Gani was held in prison increased the criticisms of the government. And the government actually wanted Gani out of prison. And so, the idea of taking Gani's mother to the prison to get him to compete, to withdraw. And he is telling the story later on in his biography. And he says, of all the people in the world, the one person that they knew could change his mind was his mother. And therefore they brought his mother to the prison. And of course, being an African mother, as soon as she walked in, she started quarreling with him. Do you want to kill me? And that is how poor Gani had to go against his conviction because of his mother. The power of women is there. And don't let anybody fool us. I think we've taken our eyes off the equation as mothers and women. How did these boys, boy child, boy adolescent into men, how did it come to the place where they became the monsters who hold us down and make us fight? That's what I want to find out. But I think, yes, indeed, women have the equation. We have the solution. It's about making the voices louder, taking on the issues that really matter. And as women, I don't see this united front of all billion of us or whatever, because we have our religious, tribal, all of those, and culture that interferes and so forth. But we have one thing to do, and that is to make the world understand, and our children, that we are Mother Nature's guides on this planet Earth. And until AI and others take over, we can still do something about the world. So that's my own contribution.
Yes. Thank you so much, Miata. Thank you for bringing your wisdom here with us. Really powerful. Whew.
Thank you.
forward. Yes, thank you so much. Blessings to you
Yeah.
and Happy New Year. So now we have Yuval Ron, who is a world-renowned composer, record producer, and peace activist, known internationally as the peace musician. He travels the globe with the Interfaith Yuval Ron Ensemble, which I have been fortunate enough to see live. Among his many honors, Yuval won the Oscar for his musical composition in the film West Bank Story. He has performed on PBS, CBS, BBC, the Disney Channel, the History Channel, and on MTV. He's hosted shows on Fox Kids and Israeli TV, and he was the featured artist in the Seeds of Compassion concert for the Dalai Lama. Yuval also works with the neuroscientists Andrew Newberg and Mark Robert Waldman, authors of How God Changes Your Brain, to develop music healing modalities. And he collaborates with Sufi leader Pir Zia Inayat Khan, I apologize if I messed that up, who wrote the foreword to Yuval's award-winning book, Divine Attunement, Music as a Path to Wisdom. His performances and reflections on music, mysticism, and ancient wisdom bond people of all nationalities and religion. It is now our great honor to share a video message and performance from Yuval Ron.
My name is Yuval Ron, and I'm here in support of the Founding Mothers Initiative for Peace. There are so many wars in the world, there's so much violence. We really need to come up with a plan, with a program, with a way to educate people to leave war behind and find peaceful ways to negotiate, to work together, to live on this earth in peaceful ways. And so I'm here to offer a prayer for peace with two words, shalom, which is in Hebrew, the word for peace, and salam, which is the word in Arabic for peace. Please join me. Please spread this message through singing the word peace in many, many, many different languages. Sing along with salam. Salam. Shalom.
Shalom, salam. Thank you so much. And as I was watching that, I remembered that when my husband and I were in courtship, it wasn't even an official date. The first event we went to was a private, intimate concert with Yoval Ron. And he is raised Jewish, and I was raised in a Muslim country. So it was just so beautiful to receive that beautiful song blessing. So moving forward now to meet the extraordinary grandmother Ejna Flory, who serves as a spiritual activist and counselor, meditation and consciousness facilitator, and healer, mystic, visionary, and ceremonialist. I do want to apologize in advance if I mess up any of the names. Grandmother Ejna Flory is a member of the Minikonju, Oglala, Hunkpapa, and Ihantonwan peoples of the Great Sioux Nation, and she serves as First Peace Ambassador of the Crow Creek Sioux Tribe of South Dakota. She is the founder of Divine Mother's Love and the Crow Creek Kunsi Unsi Grandmother Society, and she is co-founder of Sacred Earth Council and Healing Hearts at Wounded Knee, a global movement with a pledge to end war. She is a member of the Council of Eagle, Condor, Quetzal, and Colibri, and she is the international coordinator of the Four Worlds Holistic Health Program. Grandmother Ejna is a former faculty member at the University of Minnesota School of Nursing, and she holds a bachelor degree in nursing and a master's degree in counseling psychology. She also serves in the Peace Room of the Founding Mothers Movement, and we are excited to have her with us today to speak about the weekly worldwide Wake Up. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's such a wonderful way to start the new year. It's just after 8 here in California where I'm talking to you. And it's just an honor to be with all of these renowned people to bring the attention and to inaugurate this great movement. And I want to start this by grounding us with love. And so I want to do this very, very short ceremony of empowerment for all of you, myself, and this movement. I have here, I'm going to, let's see, I have to turn this on. There we go. I'm going to ring this bell once. I've lit the fire. The fire is with us. And I've smudging with sage. There are no boundaries. We're all one, which is part of the great mystery. And I'd like for us to put our hands together because we're holding ourselves and we're holding one another as we launch this wonderful movement. And I invoke the great universal love that pervades all and all of its attributes. The attributes are love, beauty, grandeur, wisdom, power, glory. You can see how all these attributes of love are enveloping and coordinating and inspiring and healing, which is what is needed for our world right now. So it's my great honor and privilege to invite you to join this. We're having a weekly initiative. It takes place at noon all around the world, where we're starting every Wednesday at high noon to make noise for peace, joy for peace, sounds for peace. And you can go choose your location, choose your cohort of people that you want to work with, or just yourself. You can go to the steps of your capital, go to the steps of your libraries, go to the steps of your church, but to make noise. And when people come, they're going to ask you, why are you making this noise, this music? And then you can start to say, because this is the movement for peace. And this is just the beginning. We're starting in a gentle way to raise our voices and our hearts in love and in unity. And once again, you put your hands together, because this love is exposing and bringing forth our mycelial nature. We're all interconnected. We're already family, all of us. And we mothers and the women of the world bring forth our human family. And we're reclaiming and igniting further the mother bloodline of love that flows through us. So each Wednesday, you'll have a chance to bring forth your voice for peace. And then, but we will be also initiating further actions. So as you join, you'll find out what further activities we have planned, because we're going to start in this gentle way, and it's going to grow and grow, because we absolutely are bringing forth peace and love and joy and our whole new world. So thank you. It is my very great pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandmother Ejna Flory. What a blessing. Thank you for connecting us in that way, reminding us that we are already a family as we take on making noise. So I want to welcome our next speaker, Arthur Canegas. Arthur Canegas is president of Future Wave, a nonprofit organization dedicated to shifting our culture of violence to a culture of peace. He is the award-winning producer of The World Is My Country, a feature documentary about the amazing life of world citizen #1 Gary Davis. He also produced War Without Winners, a TV documentary on nuclear war narrated by Paul Newman. For the 1983 special, The Day After, Arthur studied the epicenter impact and radius destruction of nuclear bombs, so the production crew could design accurate sets. The show had the largest TV audience of all time, with over 100 million viewers in the US and 200 million in the Soviet Union. Wow, Ronald Reagan said the movie convinced him nuclear war was unwinnable, leading to the negotiation of a nuclear reduction treaty with Gorbachev. In addition to advising the Founding Mothers movement, Arthur is focused on the Earth Federation movement, which recognizes the need for a global upgrade to our governance system. In 1776, the Founding Fathers declared it was the right of the people to be free, pursue happiness, and form a new government. Now, Arthur suggests that the Founding Mothers lead we the people to declare a new government for our home, planet Earth. Welcome.
Thank you. It is so exciting to be here with the Founding Mothers, where you have the incredible power to really initiate something very, very special for the planet Earth. Now, to begin with, the Mother's Day Proclamation in 1870 called for a General Congress of Women without the limits of nationality to form an alliance of all the different nationalities. And in 1915, Lola Maverick Lloyd helped fuse the feminist and the peace movements by founding the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. And I joined the Women's International League for Freedom back in 1960 or so, where we were working very hard with the Women's Strike for Peace to get the nuclear test ban treaty passed. And members of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom met, and along with the Quakers, met with President Kennedy. And urged him to pass that declaration. And he said, I agree with you, but I can't do it. The military industrial power complex has too much power. You go out there and you create the movement to make me do it. And that's exactly what we did do and what did happen. And that got passed. And there's been strides that have been made, but the key thing is that Lola Maverick Lloyd also co-founded the Campaign for World Government back in 1937, and they realized that, in fact, she said that this can never be done by the same nation states that created war and caused these problems. It has to come from the people, a democratic league controlled by the people, and so Lola's granddaughter, Robin Lloyd, was the executive producer on the film we produced, The World Is My Country. And The World Is My Country tells the incredible story of actually Robin's partner, Gary Davis, who became world citizen #1. And Gary realized that it wasn't the application for independence. They didn't say, oh, please, England, give us independence. They declared it. They just went out and did it. And almost every constitution says that we the people institute new government. Well, if we the people institute new government, why in the heck are we knocking our heads against the wall trying to get this broken nation state system to somehow repair itself, to fix itself, to reform itself? It's not going to do it. It's going out of the forces of power and money, the very forces that caused war. We, the founding mothers here, have just an incredible opportunity to declare a government of, by, and for the people of the world, all the people of the world, and to actually do it. That's how governments get created. They first instituted a new government by this declaration, and then they figured out how to do it. They figured out, how do we take huge states and little states? Oh, well, we'll invent bicameral legislation. We need to call in our declaration on the young people of this world to invent new systems. We don't need the old systems to enforce of the weak forces of military power, which has no power. It's powerless. It pounds and pounds and destroys, and it doesn't achieve its objective. We need to invent new interactive people-based forms of power. We need the superpower to change our world, and the way we get that superpower, every superhero takes on a new identity. We have to take on the identity of world citizens. We have to step from being the governed to the governors of our small planet. We have to realize that we don't need to beg and plead them. We don't need to march and say, oh, please, please do this. We just do it. We, the women and men of this world, get together and declare, just as the founding fathers declared government that all men are created equal and institute a new government, we have the incredible opportunity now by taking on this new superpower identity of citizen of the world, we can now join together and actually declare and actually institute a government of, by, and for the people, and get all these incredible inventive minds of young people to create, how do we do it? How do we bring to the top the will of the people of the planet? The old voting system pits one side against the other. It's a race to the bottom. It's not really representative of the full reality of who people are. If we can institute a system where people come together in these Zoom-type groups all over the world with opposite sides of issues and use all these incredible conflict resolution technologies and other things to bring us together and distill what is it we really want. Almost all the people of the world want the same things: a better life for their children, peace, security. We all want the same things. The broken systems are dividing us. The forces of power and money keep their power by keeping us divided and locked in these boxes called nation states and different boxes. When we break out of those boxes and we take on our true identity as the founding mothers of this world, and we do it. We don't just call for it. We found a new government of, by, and for all the people of the planet. We create that future where we're restoring the environment, where people are equal. It's in us, folks. We have that power. Once we break out of that box, we have the power to do it and to create the world we choose and to to mobilize and excite young people and all the great scientific, incredible genius of humanity to come together and put our efforts into actually creating this new interactive, people-based governments of the world that enforces not through guns and bombs, but through people power. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to be part of this amazing movement. Yay. I'm thrilled.
Yay, awesome. Thank you for your enthusiasm and your dedication, Arthur Canegas. Thank you so much. That was so inspiring. Citizens of the world. So I want to welcome our next speaker now, Shama Viola, who is an Italian-born author, artist, teacher, and spiritual guide whose life mission is to assist the evolution of humanity's consciousness and the healing of planet Earth. Since 2001, Shama has lived in the Federation of Damanhur, a world-renowned international community for their underground temples to humanity. As an ambassador to Damanhur, Shama has traveled the world teaching a wide variety of Damanhurian and personal growth courses and sharing Damanhur's unique message and vision around the globe. Shama also teaches divination techniques, and she is the creator of the Brawl Talej forecasting deck, which combines the Damanhurian language and the paintings of Alberto Airaudi, the founder of Damanhur. Prior to joining Damanhur, Shama worked with the filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola and Shakti Gawain, author of Creative Visualization. Shama also facilitated voice dialogue therapy, a method that helps people explore and understand the different inner selves or sub-personalities within their psyche. Today, Shama joins us to share her reflections on the collective consciousness of the planet and the powerful reemergence of the sacred feminine as reflected in the Founding Mothers movement.
Convoy. Convoy is the greeting that the Damanhurians share with one another. For the past 23 years, I've called Damanhur my home. This vibrant community, nestled in the heart of Italy, has been no mere residency for me, but a profound initiation into the ancient archetype of communal living, a tapestry woven not by blood ties, but by a shared spiritual yearning for unity. Together, we have manifested an extraordinary feat of human ingenuity, a breathtaking subterranean temple. This experience has indelibly etched upon my soul the truth that nothing is beyond the reach of a collective driven by an unseemingly impossible dream, especially when the dream is fueled by an unwavering love for the earth and for humanity. Through these years of immersive experience, I've become deeply convinced that humanity's benevolent trajectory hinges upon unity, upon the cultivation of collective consciousness that transcends individual needs and even the primal instinct for survival. Only by aiming at something far greater than ourselves can we truly flourish. We stand at a critical juncture in human history, poised at the culmination of a pivotal journey. This is a moment of profound consequence, where we face a stark choice. Will we triumph over the shadow of ignorance, short-sightedness, fear, greed, and the illusion of separation, ascending to a new era of enlightenment? Or will we succumb to a darker age, where these destructive forces reign supreme, further enslaving us in their grip? I believe the key to averting this dire fate lies in the empowerment of the feminine, the awakening of the goddess within each one of us. It is the conscious emergence of love, nurturing, and deep reverence for the earth and all her inhabitants, that holds the power to heal our planet and all of humankind. This is not about gender alone, but about embracing the inherent qualities of our feminine principle: perception, compassion, understanding, interconnectedness, and the wisdom of the heart. Through the rise of this feminine power, this rebalancing of energies, a new equilibrium can be achieved, ushering in an era of harmony, peace, and sustainable coexistence. This is the path to our collective salvation, the dawn of a brighter future for all. Con voi.
Thank you. Shama Viola. We now get to meet David Swanson. David Swanson is the founder and executive director of World Beyond War, a global movement to end all wars. He also serves as a campaign coordinator for rootsaction.org, a site dedicated to economic fairness, equal rights for all, environmental protection, and defunding endless war. David has been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and he is the 2018 recipient of the U.S. Peace Memorial Peace Prize. He assisted Congressman David Kucinich and the articles of impeachment against George Bush and Dick Cheney over the Iraq War. He is the author of numerous books, including War is a Lie and When the World Outlawed War, seminal reading for anyone involved in the peace movement. He blogs at davidswanson.org and warisacrime.org, and he has a weekly radio show at Talk Nation Radio. Today, David joins us to share his perspective as a seasoned activist, someone who has dedicated his life to world peace and knows a thing or two about nonviolent direct action, non-cooperation, and civil disobedience. David Swanson.
Thank you. What I like about the name Founding Mothers Movement is that it contrasts with Founding Fathers, which in the United States is a name for mostly genocidal, warmongering, wealth hoarding enslavers, imperialists, and nature destroyers. Of course, neither male nor non-maternal female human beings need to be any of those things. But to get away from them, we need to stop normalizing, legitimizing, and celebrating them. Would a society that didn't honor such horrors produce and empower a fascistic buffoon who can't decide what to steal first? Canada, Mexico, Greenland, Panama, Palestine, Social Security, what's left of the Earth's climate, or our immigrant neighbors and friends? I don't think so. We need to invite everyone to join in some good-spirited laughter at the self-mocking kakistocracy in action. They are going to make the US government efficient by dramatically increasing military spending, make the world safer by building and proliferating more nuclear weapons, keep us healthy by rendering the climate uninhabitable and bringing back polio, establish law and order by legalizing white-collar crime. Not a single speech, meeting, event, or press conference should go without infiltration, interruption, scorn, ridicule, protest, and nonviolent blockading. Not a single protest should go without giant puppets, blimps, costumes, billboards, and posters depicting the comical state of lunatics running the asylum. Not a single CEO, Congress member, or prime minister who bows to Trump should be immune from inclusion in the list of pathetic Trump poodles. Not a single act of resistance or glimmer of self-respect in any legislative body or institution, foreign or domestic, should pass without celebration and encouragement. There's no excuse left. We are facing the worst evils of a US government with none of the pseudo-humanitarian pretenses. If people cannot object to genocide and terroricide now, when can they? It's time for a wide-ranging opposition that includes not just most of the US public, but much of humanity, ranging from the most respectable legal and legislative endeavors to chaotic festivals, not to make America great again, but to make the US a decent part of the world for the first time. Boycotts and divestment campaigns should be directed against major US weapons corporations and toward pressuring governments to cease doing business with US weapons corporations. Sanctions and prosecutions should be created through the United Nations and the International Criminal Court to target top US officials openly guilty of the worst crimes. Governments around the world should be pressured to reject US bases, shut them, expel them, forbid them, US weapons and US military funding, and to hold the US government to the rule of law. Groups are now planning global days of action against all military bases in the coming months. Watch for the announcements. Thanks for what you're doing.
David Swanson, thank you. Thank you. Our final speaker today is Sadhvi Bhagwati Saraswati, a renowned spiritual leader based in India. Originally from Los Angeles, she is a graduate of Stanford University with a doctorate in psychology. For the past 25 years, Sadhvi has lived on the banks of the sacred Ganga River in the lap of the Himalayas, engaged in spiritual service, wisdom teaching, sacred action, and deep spiritual practice. Her best-selling memoir is entitled Hollywood to the Himalayas, A Journey of Healing and Transformation. Sadhvi is the Secretary General of the Global Interfaith WASH Alliance, an organization dedicated to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. She's the president of Divine Shakti Foundation, which provides free schools, vocational training, and empowerment programs. She's the director of the world-famous International Yoga Festival in Rishikesh, which has been addressed by both the Prime Minister and Vice President of India. She is a co-president of Religions for Peace, the premier global organization uniting the world's religious leaders for peace, and she serves on the UN Advisory Council on Religion. Sadhvi is a true master of the spiritual realm, a beacon of wisdom and inspiration for all those who seek to elevate their consciousness and transform their lives. Her teachings blend ancient wisdom and modern insights and are grounded in deep personal experience and a profound understanding of the human condition. She blends the knowledge and logic of the West with insights and wisdom from the East, and she's considered a spiritual bridge between the two cultures. Her inclusive teachings encourage individuals to forge their own unique path to enlightenment. Today, we are privileged to have a videotaped blessing and closing message from Sadhvi, which we will play for you now.
Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. O Divine Presence, lead us from the falsehood of our separation into the truth of our oneness. Lead us from the darkness of ignorance in which we suffer and bring suffering unto others, into the light of truth and wisdom in which we heal and bring healing to all. Lead us from the identification as this physical body that is born and changes and dies, into the true identification as the soul, which is never born, never dies. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. It is such a blessing to be together with you on this day, and especially celebrating the importance of that divine feminine and bringing about gender equality in the world. Because if we don't have gender equality, we cannot have peace. Having inequality on the basis of gender, of race, of religion, of color, of culture, of socioeconomic status, of sexual orientation, of any way that we may define ourselves, identify ourselves, separate ourselves, actually keeps us from living in the very truth of who we are, which is that divine, which is spirit, which is source, which is one with the creator and one with the creation. So bringing about the power of the divine feminine, ensuring that our women, our girls, our sisters, our mothers, our daughters have access to full and complete equality is not only a critical step in our own spiritual evolution, but it is an absolute non-negotiable requirement to have peaceful and sustainable societies. Without gender equality, we are kidding ourselves if we think that we can possibly move into a world of peace, of prosperity, and of sustainability. So at this time of the new year, let us join together for this mission to truly bring about the awareness that we are all one. There is no other. And especially that divine feminine energy, that divine feminine principle, that energy of creation is critical to the health and the harmony of our planet. So much love to you all from these sacred banks of Mother Ganga, from the lap of the Himalayas.
Happy Bhagwati. Laura, you are muted.
Sorry. I am truly overwhelmed and forgot to unmute as a result by the wisdom of our speakers. They all comprehend the gravity of the situation. They all comprehend, and I'm glad that David highlighted this passing paradigm of domination and militarism is not going to go gently into the night. And it's incumbent upon all of us now to unify and in each in our own way, yet we need to make the diversity of our campaigns, unified in the sense of getting out on the streets on the same day, making sure that our numbers are truly known. That's, I think, the key to the shift. I really do. And that is why the Founding Mothers Movement is going to be rolling out even more campaigns, as Ejna said, and that's why we're coordinating with the seasoned activists like World Beyond War. It's all hands on deck time. Yeah.
Yes, it is. We've heard about the Women's Congress a little bit. How does someone join the Women's Congress?
Well, we have partners all over the world. And once you're a partner of the movement, you're eligible to send a female representative to Congress. Men are also invited into the movement and participate in our operational circles and advisory councils. So it's not all female, but we felt it was important to keep it female-led. One of our taglines is that the founding fathers of every nation got us to where we are today. And the founding mothers of the world want to elevate that vision and get us across the finish line.
So going to the Founding Mothers Movement website, people can find the way to join the Congress?
Yes, the website's thoroughly informative, and there's a join page, and you can join one of three ways, either as a world citizen, as a partner organization, and then as a delegate. And I just want to mention that the Congresses are private because we have delegates from all over the world, some of whom live in dangerous parts of the world. But we also do a monthly town hall that's public. and we want to hear from you. We want to work with you. We want to build the mother of all movements, and that means coalition building. Founding Mothers is not another nonprofit. It is a meta-unity brand, and it's time for us to walk the walk of oneness.
Speaking of the talk of oneness, are people welcome from all political affiliations? Because I know there are people on every side who don't want war, who want peace, who want equality. Can you speak to that?
Yes, I think it's very possible that despite how someone might vote, if we reach them at these higher levels of universal values, there's a lot more people than we think who will join us in efforts toward peace and fully empowering women. And I think we should close. We're running a little over, so we were hoping to close to give the world a glimpse of what we think it can look like after the paradigm shift. So this is our vision video. Please join us at foundingmothers.world.
The year is 2030, and the Founding Mothers movement has successfully shifted the paradigm. We have achieved a great victory. We have fully empowered women around the world, and we have stopped an evil that no people before us were able to prevent. We have ended war. Women now have universal gender equity. Women have bodily autonomy and reproductive choice. Laws are in place to prevent child marriage. Cultures forbid family violence and genital mutilation, and relationships between women and men enter a field of understanding and compassion. For the first time in human history, our precious planet is at peace. The military-industrial complex is now a peacekeeping force, and men no longer are asked to kill their brothers. As a result, there is ample money available for healthcare, daycare, and elder care. Schools are being built around the world to educate all girls. Projects abound and are fully funded to provide novel green infrastructure and protect the commons. Artificial intelligence is properly monitored and employed for benevolent projects that enhance life on Earth. Now Mother Earth can regenerate. Animal, plant, and ocean life are revived and add to the euphoria of this new golden age. All my relations, one of the original instructions, is a lesson taught in every school, along with mindfulness. There now exists a universal inner knowing that together we can accomplish anything. Planetary governance has reached a new level of inclusion, collaboration, and coordination. The nation-state system yields to regional and local models of self-organization. Intentional communities and cottage industries abound, creating self-sufficient economies. Globalization now means that we are one species with one shared destiny. Personal freedom is intertwined with responsibility, which we gladly share as members of one human family. The news story is told far and wide. Our children know it by heart. Songs are written in its honor. Truth, love, and light reign on earth. As above, so below. Join the Founding Mothers movement and help transform the world.
And a special thank you to Anahita. You were just an amazing host. Now, everybody, let's go outside and make good noise every Wednesday. Woo! Thank you. Thank you to all the speakers. Thank you to everyone who worked on this.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.